Hi guys, it's me, Debbie Fluid, and we're gonna have a haunted Halloween spooky story. So this spooky, ooky, horrific tale begins like most others. Picture this. It is the 1950s. 1956 if you're someone who demands specific. Malt shops are all the rage. Marilyn Monroe is somewhere getting a quick pick-me-up. The children are jigging or jogging, jiving as they call it. And the homosexuals are closeted. Beards vary in style. It is a crisp autumn afternoon in Hurt, Virginia. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Yes, it's a real place. LOL. So Debbie, that's me, was walking home from a particularly terrible, troublesome, tiresome, just tenaciously terrible shift at the local drive-in movie theater. Drive-in and dive-in, they called it, unironically. So ahead of their time. Take that, Netflix. As I was uninhibitedly jizzing or jigging or jiving, I was walking past the local butcher market, Pete's Meat Shop. I was listening to Roy Brown and his Mighty Men's 1950 hit single, Butcher Pete. And finding this rather ironic, I laughed. Haha. I did not stop jiving to laugh. No, I simply multitasked, which did seem like a rather astounding thing for a woman to do at this time. I mean, such a small, weak, frail creature such as myself. What will women be doing next? Voting and holding public office? I think not. But I was no regular woman. You see, I was actually a rather irregular woman. You see, I was what some would call suspicious. Secretive, if you will. Swollen in the poodle. I was holding a very big secret, if you know what I mean. I was a virgin. I was also a rather elusive serial killer who had been picking off local teenage boys for the past 6 months, causing overall terror, but more importantly, I was a virgin. And myself, like most high school virgins, was rather disgusted by this fact. And I, also like most high school virgins, was gonna lose my virginity at the high school prom. Do you want to know why? Because it's like totally bitching to play some backseat bingo with the total dreamboat in your class, Stephen Wills, in the back of his 1955 Chevrolet Corvette, as I would regularly say to myself every morning in the mirror, holding a colorized picture of Dreamboat Stephen. And tonight was the night. My high school prom. The night that I was finally gonna engage in some amorous congress. And there was only one thing in my way. The one thing that was standing between Stephen and I banging in the back seat was I had to kill someone tonight. Which was wildly inconvenient considering I had to do the deed by midnight. But as you know, I was a serial killer. And I went through all the troubles of coordinating a killing every other Friday evening, so if I changed all that now, it would totally defeat the purpose and all that work would have been for nothing. So yes, I had to both pop my cherry and pop a cap in some greaser in one night. Luckily, I was an irregular girl who could multitask. This night would be like totally bitchin' if I didn't have so much to worry about. I fretted while getting ready for the prom. Now, I realize there's one glaring piece of evidence that I've left out. A rather key piece of this puzzle, if you ask me. How was I gonna end up necking with Steven in the back of his car? Well, luckily, I had a plan. A marvelous plan. A plan so brilliant that only a irregular, multitasking woman such as myself could think of. I was going to do something so extraordinary, so unheard of, so unnerving that the very thought of it made my skin crawl. I was going to undo 3 buttons on my dress. I know. I agree. It does seem a little rash, but what can I say? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Walking around like a common prostitute, which I am not, was a small price to pay for my dream deflowering. And lucky for me, these toxic masculinity poster children were very easily entranced by a protruding collection of fat and mammary glands. Sexy and no. Later that night, after a few too many sips of hooch from my color-coordinated flask, I was up to 4 buttons undone on my skirt, and Steven was up to 5 minutes trying to wake up his soldier from an apparent case of whiskey dick. Just my luck. Did this meat slab not realize I did not have all night? In an effort to speed up the process, I empathetically and very compassionately said, "Hey meat slab, I do not have all night." Obviously, this worked stupendously well, as any sensible woman who did their research would understand. However, to my grave disappointment, this must have worked a little too well, because within a matter of seconds, Steven shook his shake all over my brand new skirt. And then the candy ass had the outright audacity to say, "Damn, baby, that was blast." I was pretty frosted, and then I happened to glance at the radio and realize I only had 20 minutes until midnight. I didn't have time to find a new person to kill. I quickly realized I would have to resort to killing my dream man, whom I had just lost my virginity to. But with such an underwhelming effort to discover the rare female orgasm, I decided this was as good of a chance as any. And I quickly pulled my color-coordinated handgun out and popped one right in between his eyes while whispering, "Nice guys finish last." Outside the car, fireworks erupted. Straight men in tops around the world gasped in disbelief. Women in bottoms around the world cheered and screamed "Yas Queen" as they too knew the struggle that is unsatisfactory dick game. Now, I realize I still haven't explained why I had to commit all these murders. I mean, a woman can multitask, but murder? Unheard of. So I was doing some research and just learning about astrology, and I quickly realized that it's because I'm such an asparagus, and Mars is totally in retrograde right now. The end.